Good evening, friends. Happy Monday evening. This is very unusual and open to all live, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. Not something we do on a regular basis, but I did want to paint the December Grabby watercolor calendar. And I typically do it on YouTube. So I decided that I was going to tackle that and I wanted to get it painted at the beginning of December. I was going to do it yesterday doing a live, but I decided to stick till today. To today. So this is what we're doing. We are getting into this December calendar. Let's take a look here at what's been done so far since this will be the last one. And I've already decided what I'm going to do with these once we're done with the calendar. So January, February, March, and some of these were good, some not so good. The ones that were actually done on the grabby paper, yeah. This paper is not the best. Um, April, May, June, July, and then this is where I start painting on separate paper. August, September, October, November. And you can definitely tell where I started to paint on the separate paper. So today we are going to be tackling December, and then I'm going to turn that into a flip book and put it in the stack with my completed sketchbooks. So that's what's going to happen with that. I think I might do turning it into a flip book. Um, ooh, maybe that'll be a video over on the Paper Alchemist channel. That would be cool. So tonight, what we're doing is December 2025. I have decided to go ahead and do this same series for 2026, and the calendar is already here. This time we're going with Light Wish 100% cotton cold press paper. So I know that I'll be able to paint directly on the paper, and it'll be a much, excuse me, better painting experience. So that will be coming up during 2026. So you guys can look forward to that. You can grab that Light Wish calendar. If you order it today, since it's still Cyber Monday, you're probably going to pay like 12 bucks or less for that calendar. If you want to grab it to paint along during the series in 2024. That's if you're shopping on Amazon today. I know some people aren't. I'm just saying. Okay. So we're going to be tackling the calendar using a style of painting that I started trying out the other night over in the Creation Station level of Patreon, where I've been doing this thing where I'm trying to work loose, you know, and it just hadn't been working out for me, not in a way that I was happy with until I started trying to do loose landscapes. And over in the Creation Station the other night, we did a 10 by 7 image of a loose, snowy scene um, using two colors, maybe three. I think it was two. Either way, I was in love with the way it turned out once it dried. So I'm thinking I want to work December somewhere off of the same type of theme. Um, since it is December and a snowy scene would be appropriate for the calendar picture. Okay, I'm going to set that to the side. I'm working on New York Central 100% cotton paper. I've already cut it out to fit the size of the calendar, and I'm going to be adhering it to the calendar page once I'm done painting. So I don't need this anymore. Got a few brushes here, and I'm going to be working with my convenience palette. I was working with it earlier today, going to be working with it again today or tonight, this evening. And I have my little mixing plate here to mix some colors on. I have a few brushes, a couple of rounds, synthetic, liner, cat's tongue, synthetic squirrel, just a few things here or there. And then I have a piece of paper that I've sketched out sort of how I want to lay out the landscape. I'm using a reference photo from Paint My Photo, and unfortunately, I can't share it, which is why I didn't post it because I can tell you where it came from. I can actually put the link for the photo in the video description once the live is over, in case anybody want to grab the photo, or you can just paint along. It's because it's going to be super easy. This is an open to all live, so it's going to be kind of beginner friendly. And these loose landscapes, I think, lean to really, you know, being beginner friendly, especially for someone who may be new to landscape painting, or I like the effect, and I finally like that I can paint loosely on something because I'm a tight painter, tight one. I am going to only sketch on a horizon line just for kicks, and I need to reach my T square. I need to have a more convenient place to keep these so that I can get to it. And I'm only going to go down about a third of the way of my little paper here. So I really wish I could paint this bigger. And you know what? I actually may repaint this bigger. Um, Depending on how it comes out, how I feel about the technique. So that's going to be the only thing I draw is going to be that horizon line. Now I'm going to take the brush that holds the most water of the ones I've selected. This is a number 6 round synthetic squirrel. And we're going to start with painting in a string. But I'm trying to keep the pencil mark out because it's supposed to be really watery. And we're going to try to draw in a stream in water here. I don't know if you can see that. Probably not because I barely can. If I tilt, I can catch the glisten off of it. And I'm basically just drawing in a string. I have to tip my head just a little bit to see where the wetness is, but it's there. I'll widen it just a little bit. Sort of the focal point of the whole image. It's going to draw your eye through the picture. And I'm just making sure I have enough water here for flow. Now, I typically like to use ultramarine for everything, but I'm going to be switching over and using phthalo blue. This phthalo blue is actually by Core. Let me make sure I'm using the right one. Um, this will be ultramarine. This is phthalo. Okay. And I'm using phthalo blue because it lends to being colder looking than ultramarine, which is warmer. This is going to be cooler, so it's going to give you more of a cooler feel. And I'm going to use my brush to kind of shape the bank. I'm going to turn my paper in just a second here so I can work a little bit better. Adding more water to that because you do kind of want it watery. Keep in mind we're making things look cold here. I'm going to mix into that blue our second color, which will be burnt sienna. This is going to gray it down a little bit. It may help if you have like, it may be better if you use like a Venetian red, if you have that color instead of a burnt sienna. Want to just make up enough of this blue. Basically, what you're trying to do is push that phthalo to being even cooler. Not looking for a gray. All right, that'll work. I want to use that to kind of come along my bank here, and it's got a bit of a green hue, which is fine. I'm just adding a little depth to the water. A little bit, a little bit pure, a little bit more pure of that. And if you want to, you can even use a little alizarin crimson in it. It'll push it a little bit more violet, but it'll definitely give you a darker hue to work with. Keep in mind this is cold, so it's okay if it doesn't look too blue. And you can just keep playing with it, going back and forth. It's gonna look a little frozen over or what have you. Playing with it. I'm actually playing with this more than I normally would. And I need to stop. All right, let's move on to the sky. I'm going to wet the sky, grab a little bit bigger brush, and wet the sky here. I'm wetting it really well because we're about to do a lot of painting back here. If the river starts to flow up into it, that's perfectly fine. We don't care about any of it. This is all watery. Hello, View. Hello, Terry. All right, I'm going to take that phthalo, go across the top of my paper with it, and you can even angle your paper up, let that phthalo run down, make it watery. Make it watery. Keep in mind, the name of the game is water here. Let it flow down your paper. I'm going to rinse, grab clean water, go right up under where I have that color. Let that water grab it and bring it on down the paper. All right, I'm going to block my brush, clean up, clean up, blot and clean up. I do want to go ahead and put some color on my snow a little bit. So I want to grab a little of that alizarin crimson, just a little bit, and hit it with some of that phthalo. And I'm just going to go ahead and lightly tint all the snow. Now we will be going through a drying phase, of course, all this water in order to move on to the next step. water it down quite a bit. You just want a light tint. I'm not worried about anything running into anything or nothing like that. If it does, fine. If it doesn't, fine. All right. Next, I want to do a little stand of trees back there. Do I need this to be wet? I need this to be dry actually from this point. Now I am going to grab, where's that smaller round? Here we go. It's number 6 that I was working with. And I'm going to do a couple of mixtures here. One, I'm going to still have my regular phthalo. We're going to water it down. Add lots of water to it because we're about to get into some really watery painting. Make quite a big puddle of that because we're going to do 2 stands of trees before we dry again. Once I get started, I don't want to have to stop and remix anything, so I'm going to make sure that I have enough paint. Okay, so that's going to be my phthalo mixture. And then on this side, we're going to do phthalo, a little burnt sienna, and a little alizarin crimson. We just want to change it, shade it just a bit. You see how this just a step darker than this one? All right, we're going to make another one. We'll get some phthalo. And if this runs into this is fine. Because it's just phthalo. And then in this one, we're going to grab some burnt sienna. Notice I use a little bit more there. And then we're going to grab alizarin crimson. And notice how dark that is in comparison to the others. But I didn't push it purple. It's still blue, just more desaturated. So that's what I'm going to use to try to paint. I hope I mixed enough. I really do. So here we go. We're going to start out with the stand of trees in the very, very back. I'm going to start off with a regular phthalo blue. And I'm just going to go in and tap in a stand of trees. Trying to keep it wet and watery. That's the name of the game here. Keep it wet and watery. I'm going to grab some of the NYX darkest color. Drop that in. Try to keep it straight. And then some of the darkest color. And drop that in towards the bottom. Again, keeping everything as wet as possible. Not really worried about it too much. All right, now while that's wet, I'm going to grab my credit card. Here comes the fun part. And I'm just going to drop in tree trunks and twigs and all right. Now, hopefully, while it's still damp, because this is phthalo, I'm going to use my studio rag and dab out color here and there. It's going to give us like snow-capped trees. Look at that. And it gave us different levels. It looks like some of the trees are kind of snowy back there. And you can dab as much as you want. Just remember to dab and lift straight up off the paper. Don't rub or scrub it. You just want to give the impression that there may be some snow-capped trees back there, here and there. All right. Now I'm going to switch over to a smaller synthetic brush. And now I'm going to go back in here with some layers of the same wash. I'm going to grab some of that phthalo. I'm going to rub that in on a line. You're going to notice the paint catch, the credit card scraping marks we put in. Grab some of that darker. And you're not trying to, don't cover up your white. And then I grab some of that darker color. Just a very dark, that's that almost purple mix. And there instantly you have a little stand of trees in the back. They got a little detail, not too much. And it looks cold, like so. Earlier time was better for you not falling asleep yet. That's what's up. All right. Now let's continue moving forward with our painting. And now I have a little stand of trees. Actually, I want to bring a little stand of trees a little closer to us right here. So what we're going to do is we'll grab that darkest color we have, and we're going to continue to work. While that's wet, we're going to continue to work. And I'm going to start like here on the bank. And then we're going to get a stand of trees going this way. You think that's your thrifty? Those are not trees. It's fine, trust me. All right. Now I'm going to grab some of that phthalo, blot it in. We want water here. You need to switch over to a brush that'll hold more water, like so. Because you want to get that good and wet. Nice and wet, nice and wet. And I'm going to also bring that string this way. I'll work that out in just a second. Go in with some of that darker phthalo, even darker color. And I'm going to take the back of an aquarelle brush, the ones that have the angle on it. And I'm going to start to pull up branches in it. A credit card scraper. Just adding texture, that's all. And I actually covered up too much. I should have left some more white space in there. But that's fine. I'll go back across the base. I turned all that into trees. I meant to turn some of that into the water flowing that way, but oh well. You know, I need a darker color. I need to mix some more. We had phthalo and burnt sienna. And if this is a little darker, that's fine because we're starting to come closer. And we're about to start painting more in focus things anyway. Put some of that along the base. Let it run up. You want to keep everything dark and blue and purple and cold looking. All right, I'm gonna move on to paint. Maybe we need we'll put some in focus trees right here on this side. I'll grab that smaller synthetic brush, make sure there's no water in it, and then we'll go in for this dark I just mixed. And right here we'll put in some trees. Let's put in one that's one off the page for some scale. Put them along the bank of the river here. Now these are closer to us. They're going to be more in focus, so we're about to get detailed with these few, okay? So I'm just going to start drawing in branches, wiggling my brush in different ways, trying to get a really branchy feel and effect, like there's a bunch of little branches in there. They're going off in different directions. So just a little bit more in focus because it's right here. Looking in that area up around the bank with some grasses. All right, I'm going to go around the bank in a couple of areas. Feel like it needs trees here will have some reflections going on. Keeping everything really loose, even our reflections. I'm going to go ahead and throw in some more shadows. So I'm mixing some of that darker blue with a little bit more of the phthalo. Um, I want to try to level this out. It feels so coming down a hill to me almost. And I think it's the angle I have it on. Put some more definition around the banks. It's got sort of a weird feel to it. That's fine. It adds a little bit more movement to it. We're gonna have some glistening water in it as well. Put some sparkles in it. Make it a little heavier over here around this mask of trees on the shadow, just to make it look more real. All right, I really want those trees to be a little bit more in focus on what they are. But this style of painting is really loose and kind of watery, so that's actually fine. I do kind of want to put a tree or two in that background, though. Put some evergreens kind of peeking through back there. Just making some little shapes, some little treetop shapes. Nothing too distinct. Add one or two in the front. You don't want to get too detailed back there. All right. And then I want to mix up my dark one more time. And this time I'm trying to make it more concentrated, less water, because I want to draw our very in focus tree up front. We're almost done. That should be enough. Let's go ahead and finish this. Told you it was going to be really quick. It's really quick and loose. Really quick and loose. This is a wonderful way to get a landscape down really quickly. Loosen up, have some fun. If you're out at the lake and you want to paint, this is a great way to paint. I mean, you can do all seasons like this. It just so happens I've been doing snowy seasons because we've been in the holiday season. But yeah, absolutely. Okay, that actually still has more water in it than I want. So let me put a more mass tone puddle right next to it, and then I can just go back and forth and loosen it. I use the looser mix for. That's the problem right there. I had way too much water on my brush when I grabbed that alizarin crimson. That's much better. Yes, that's about the consistency I wanted. Actually, I'm gonna add a little bit more crimson to that. All right, that's nice. That's almost like ink. Okay, so I want to draw some a more in focus tree that's here sticking out the side. I'm just letting my brush do whatever it wants to do. And I'll go back and do fill in branches where I need them, if I need them. But I want this to be a really kind of hairy branch tree. So it's gonna have all types of little branches everywhere. All right. Now what I want to do is uh kind of spray mist just a tiny bit my paper right there where I just put my tree, right? I know you're thinking I'm crazy. Then I'm gonna grab the looser mix I had, and I'm gonna go in here and kind of put on those same branches and spray too much water actually. But you see the effect that it's giving me. Try not to you lose too much definition. And then I grab my credit card scraper and go in there and start pulling out little hairy lines everywhere. And you can wait on this to dry and you can go back in and put on another layer if you want or not. Monday nights are filled with tons of stuff. Christian's Patreons are on Monday but once a month. It looks great, Ken. Have a great night. Night, Nicole. All right. That's pretty much it anyway. You can, like I said, wait on this to dry. Like I'll show you. You can go back in with a few more crisp lines to make it look a little bit more full. I'm going to take that same small brush I had. Let's get wrapped up here and grab the mixture here, and you can go in and put on crisper branches. These are going to stand out on top of the ones you did earlier, so it's going to make it look that much more full over here. I love this style of painting. I'm going to definitely keep doing it. All right. Maybe a few grasses here and there, trying to peek up and poke up. You can see them behind the trees too. Um, I want to do a little bit more brownish string and a little bit more in here. Some shadows in there. Maybe put some little branches back there too. All right. I don't know. I just couldn't. That river is giving me the blues. Stream river, whatever you want to call it. It is giving me the complete blues. All right. That's Not that much better, but okay. Now let me try to fix the tree shadow based on the way shadow will be going this way. And at this point, it don't matter. It doesn't really matter what color I'm using to put in the tree shadow. It's gonna all blend and work together. Okay, I think I'm good with that. And I'm going to put on some snow now. And we're gonna call that done. Maybe we need a bird in the background. You know, we gotta have birds. We have to have birds. Hey, Kaylin. Um, put a few of them back here. Being mischievous. All right. Very small in the background, but they're cute. Um, what are we doing now? Now we're signing. We are signing. I don't have a black pen. My life is never prepared for anything. Oh, there's one. I don't know if it works. Let's see if it works. So number three. Ooh, it works. 1225. And that, my friends. Oh, one more thing. We need to put on some bleed proof. Oh, I don't want to splash this everywhere. Maybe I can angle it. Um, but it's gonna make it white. I mean blue. I don't want to do that. So I am gonna use this big brush. Do I want big snowflakes? No, let's use the number 6 brush that we were using. And grab some bleed proof out of here and make a puddle and water it down so we can get it loose for splashing. This is one of my favorite parts of painting. Just getting the splash, getting the splash paint. So I'm gonna angle this up to try to not splash paint everywhere. And we're gonna put random snowflakes all over everything. We got us a good snowfall going on. And you can do that as much as you want or as little as you want. Completely up to you. I think that's all I want. Maybe some smaller ones. Let's switch brushes. Maybe I can get a few smaller ones. Let's see. Let me use this. Oh, this is a joke. This is not gonna work. Let's see. This is a number 3 round. I don't know if I'm getting anything off of it. Oh, look at there. Ooh, you got the little fine ones. Yes, yes, yes. That way it looks more natural. You gotta have some big snowflakes, some little snowflakes, and then all look uniform in one size. Oh, I like that. That is nice. It's a heavy snow. Okay, that's good. I like that. A loose, snowy, cold looking landscape. Hopefully you guys painted along. That was cool. I really wish I had did it bigger. I think it would have looked so much better bigger. Okay. So like I have a white gel pen. You can go in and like put snow on some of your branches, especially on the tree in the foreground. Just little minor details like that help sell. What you're trying to sell with the loose landscape? I like that. You can go in. I mean, this for like just a little small, tiny branches. Here, put some out here because it would be sticking on these branches too. Wouldn't just be sticking on the branches inside the tree. Oh, that's so cool. It's so cool. As you guys can tell, I'm having fun with this. This is cool. Oh, look how snowy it looks. I love it. And it's just enough dark down to lay that small nail on top of and get that impression of snow. That's so cool. Now snow starting to collect around the bank and it's going to eventually cause some issues. When eventually start to freeze over, that water gonna stop flowing. Oh, I'm just going crazy now. You wouldn't even see details back there, but come on, seriously? How can you not at this point? How can you not? Oh, I love it. You guys will definitely see me doing more of these. I love it. Okay, I'm done. Here you go. Let's put it off the backing board. I'll take the back tape off the back real quick. And there you have it, my friends. A wintry landscape, a wintry loose, watery, cold, snowy landscape to wrap up our grabby watercolor calendar for December. I'm just going to be adhering that to this paper. Oh, look, it looks so nice on there. So that's how our calendar page is going to end up looking. Hopefully, you all enjoyed this. If you are watching on replay and you have any questions, don't forget to drop them in the comment section. I'll be more than happy to get back to you as soon as I possibly can. Um, don't forget to sprinkle a little love, my friends, whether you're here live or watching in replay. Give the video a thumbs up and feel free to share. Sharing is caring, and it'll help push it in front of other wonderful viewers like yourself. You can check the video description for all of the relevant links. I really hope you guys enjoy this last live for this December watercolor calendar. It was really fun doing these throughout the year. And like I said, I will be putting all of these together into a flip book, which more than likely that video will make its debut over on my second channel, The Paper Alchemist, for all things paper crafting, junk journaling, sketchbook making, journal making, diary making, all things paper. So this more than likely will come out over there where we turn this into a flip book. Until then, my friends, don't forget that we are going to be having our holiday gift guide drop this Wednesday at 10 a.m. And then we will have the Tonic Professional Watercolor review dropping this Friday at 10 a.m. So keep your ears to the ground. Make sure your notification bell is set. And remember, as I tell you at the end of every single video, my friends, just keep creating. Night.